Our song should be like an intro to every presenter's, you know, hello, nimekuja kutangaza.
Yes. Nimekuja kutangaza that maisha ni ngumu kidogo.
Kidogo.
We are humble. So, let's take a look at some of the stories that were trending and we were talking about all week long. Starting off with St. Anne's School principal who locked out students at night. The question is, where is humanity? What happened to empathy? Stick around for more. Case of domestic violence has been recorded on CCTV in Buruburu here in Nairobi. The footage shared on social media shows a woman attacking a man, but why? Why? Atimatatu Kenya 001 imefanya nini? Na wahenga walishatuambia haraka haina baraka. We'll talk about it after this. All right, now, Kwach, you're doing a new look. What's happening?
It's the parent Nini week. That's why I decided I have to come looking
for the
like,
single teachers. Or what is that?
I have to come looking like a teacher in Nini. Nini. What are they called? Teacher on practice.
Yes,
TP. The TPs of Kingi and they wanataka with their fresh colognes in a girls' school.
Yeah.
They want to look like.
The TPs were always so hot.
They were. They really were.
I think it was a standard.
Yeah.
I think for me, the fact that in every school the TPs they were hot.
Yeah.
Makes me think that it was not the TPs.
Yes.
Or it was our age. Our
It was
bodies behaving in our ways.
Okay.
No, but they really just were. They just didn't look like Mr. Kimani who taught math.
Because if you want to know, look at your TPs now.
There was a...
Ingia Facebook. Ende umwangalie saa hii.
Wale wa kuswim kwa mlango.
Okay, so now the much-awaited 2024 Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education results were released on Thursday by the Education CS Julius Migos Ogamba. 962,512 Form 4 candidates who sat for the examinations were informed of their performance as CS Ogamba released the results at Mtihani House in Nairobi. Now, in terms of top performers, 1,137 male candidates scored A plain compared to 556 female candidates who obtained grade A. Additionally, 4,904 male candidates earned an A- compared to 2,840 female candidates who scored an A-. But it doesn't matter since he scored an A, so it's fine. She represented during that year. And I don't know why Kwach looked so concerned.
Oh my God, I've become that joke. I've become the butt of the joke that I thought I'd never be.
That you were smart?
Cindy, are you talking about her O-level or A-level? Because
No,
that's mean. You see that? I was mean.
You know, this is so interesting because it's not too long ago when I was cracking old people's jokes. I'm like, oh my God, now I'm the old person. It still hasn't sunk in.
Yeah, it hasn't sunk in. Even
I'm
for
still
me.
in campus, striking and going to mess. You know, I'm still in that kind of thinking. I'm like, oh my God, Cindy, you need to catch up because, yeah, you're the oldie in the band.
But I realized during these times, you are as old as you want to be.
Exactly.
Because if you look at Snoop Dogg and he's almost in his 60s, 70s.
Yeah.
Like, if you cannot believe it in your head that Lil Wayne and Denzel Washington hawajawachana na 20 years.
Wango.
You cannot believe it in your head. That's what I'm saying. That sometimes age is as old as you want to be.
It's as old as you feel. Yes.
Like Jay-Z and Baba, wako tu hivi.
Hapo umeenda.
Wewe acha sasa wewe bwana. Wewe acha. Turudi shule. Turudi results za shule bwana. Hiyo yako wewe unatuvaa.
Result nyingine hapo.
No, but it is always a life-defining moment in this country when results are released.
Yeah.
And students are out there. At least these days, it's not like the old days when they will make all the nini about it, because Then it was about schools competing. So schools will make the most out of this moment.
You don't think it's happening now?
I think it's happening, but it's happening less. Well, when the ranking stopped, you know, private schools especially used to use this moment as a marketing gimmick.
Yes. Yeah.
So that then people can take their students or their children there more. But now, since they stopped ranking, ni nyinyi tu mwende mkajitafutie huko, mmepata engapi na nini zenyu mjicelebrate mtaani.
Did you know that this year in the top 10 akuwa na mtu hata mmoja wa Alliance?
Makes you wonder.
Na in the top 10 kulikuwa na wawili wa Kangaroo School.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Whatever you want to do with that information is up to you.
Because I was like, these results are kind of suspect. It's just, it's a very interesting dynamic that we've never seen before. We are used to, you know, the Kenya Highs of this world, Alliance, Precious Blood. Then now you're seeing the schools that are coming up, you're like, I like the dispensation of this results.
I'm shocked that as a football fan, you do not realize that Man City sometimes goes down. Man U is number 14 in the list. Sometimes it happens.
You had to sneak that.
Sometimes Arsenal has to find its way to the top. Like Kangaroo is now like the Nottingham Forest.
Please, Kangaroo School. Please do not mismention my alma mater. Okay.
So Kangaroo School. I also want to celebrate the big improvement in St. Mary's School Yala. The Y's did not bring us down. They tried throwing us some Y's in there, but we still managed to we almost got a 9 point. So that's a good improvement.
The stats showed that there was a large number of students who got D+. I'm not fazed by it anymore because I think our economy is showing that it's actually the D+ people who hire the A students. So for the A students, the few, those are your bosses. Kaanga mukijua. Congratulations to the ones who, congratulations to everybody. I don't believe in this thing of all those who passed, everybody passed. Life is an even kill, go and make your own. Of course, it's always good to hear that we had more ladies, more girls rather, sit for exams. In the past, we had fewer teenage pregnancy, there was banditry, there were so many things. So it's nice to know that some of these things have been taken care of and we have more girls sitting for the exams. But everyone, it doesn't matter what you got, you still have your whole life ahead of you. Don't believe the hype. Just look at the people who are leading this country. Ask yourself, which school did they go to? If it is not in the list, then the future is yours.
Me, I'm here to tell the students, please don't go back to repeat. You go to a technical institute, go bridge a unit, go to the course you want to do, lakini usirudi nyuma, songa mbele.
Hapo kwa the girls getting, getting to sit the exams, there was a sentiment that was made by the president as far as the girls performing well in comparison to previous years. Rather the boys wameambiwa mujigonge hivi kichwa kidogo. Maisha yenu inaweza kuwa ngumu wakiwashinda. Kwa nini alisema hivyo? Mimi sijui. Topic that whatever you want to do with that information is up to you.
For another day. But I'm just happy that, the playing field is a bit more even, but most importantly, like what Kwach said, because I know there are people who are watching and they're crying. Their parents are admonishing them, niliuza ng'ombe kupeleka ng'ombe shule, that kind of nonsense.
Yes.
This KCSE is not a level of intelligence in any form or manner. You can still be brilliant, you can still be a change maker, believe in yourself, big up, you made it 4 years in this education system, without cutting yourself, without falling into depression. So well done to you.
Yeah, well done to you. But for those who did do well though, trust me, there's a lot more on that other side. For people who went to school, their parents couldn't really afford it, and then they scored high marks, and then they, got those scholarships. There's so many stories as well. But as Cindy has said, it is not the end of the world. It really is not. Now, Kenyans on social media were left stunned on Tuesday night after a section of students from St. Anne's Girls Secondary School that's located along Jogoo Road in Nairobi were forced to spend a part of the night outside in the cold. This is after reports confirmed that the school principal sent the girls girls out of the school compound over fee arrears. The directive was despite the Ministry of Education's assurance to parents and subsequent directive to principals not to send students home over school fee arrears. What do you guys think? I mean, Cindy, when you see this, where are they supposed to go? So as the principal, when you saw that they are not moving, because maybe you thought, wanasema tu hivyo lakini labda watatoka, or, you know, maybe you thought, I don't know what you thought as a principal, it just doesn't make any sense. If they're outside, it's 7 p.m., shouldn't you then just invite them back in and tell them, okay, maybe this wasn't the right thing to do?
I was listening to a testimony of one of the parents who has a daughter in that school, and she says the principal has been known to play hardball. She doesn't have an open door policy, and she's known for this kind of character traits. People called her bluff because she did tell guys, okay, if you come without full fees, then you're not coming in. And, you know, guys paid, they called her bluff. Some parents paid half, some parents paid quarter. Some parents said, you go, I will sort it out. And she said, no, you're not coming through. What she did was really horrible because the Ministry of Education gave a very clear directive that no student should be denied access to school because of fee. I do understand that there are a lot of schools that have not received their disbursement from the ministry and they are struggling. I do understand, especially schools that are purely secondary, they didn't have Form 1 intake this year. So the budget may reduce and they're looking for money for food, but this is not the way to do it. First of all, it's a girls' school. Second of all, some of these students came as far as KCSE, Mombasa. They can't go back home. Number three, read the room, read the country. It's difficult for everyone. If a parent has struggled to bring their child and has paid even a kobo, let the child in. If the parent is not able, they have not paid anything, you don't punish the students by putting them at risk. I hear she heard she was in court. I don't know if anybody has a follow-up on what that happened.
Yeah, see, she was, TSC has done the thing, and now she was, what is it called? Deregistered or what? There's a thing.
That's a good move.
Yeah, there's what they call it. But now that I don't want to beat your point, I just want to add that this is a situation that also involves the government side of business.
Yeah.
That even as this is happening, even the teachers themselves sometimes get into desperate situations of trying to... One thing I've never understood, mimi tangu nikue mtoto, why are children punished for the lack of responsibility taking of their parents? I've never understood.
I didn't understand that part.
Like we were being caned if you do not pay your school fees in time. Ulikuwa unapigwa ndio uende uambie mzazi umepigwa ndio. But now it's a good thing that the government at least has come and responded. And then it also goes to show, you never really think these things through.
Yeah.
Because if she thought it through, angejua that the security the children is not, we are in a digital age, someone will take a picture. Like, she did not think it through.
Yeah, no, over and above it being, you know, exposed and people talking about the story and knowing what you did, I think just the fact that this is a school, your business is to cater to children and their safety, and the parents have left their children. Can you imagine if something happened to all those kids?
Yeah.
And there's so many. Wewe kama mzazi uko nyumbani unalala unajua tu, you know, my kid is okay wherever they are. But I don't understand why we used to be beaten quite. I also don't understand because it's not on me. If it were,
and I
would have paid the fees.
The wider conversation
but we have
here
to take
is,
a break. Yes.
The wider conversation here, the wider conversation here is the cost of education in the country.
Yes. And as Cindy put it, things are just really tough.
Yeah.
The economic climate is declining, if anything. The only people who are making money are politicians. They're the only ones who you see talking, you know, just posting pictures of their new cars, new houses. I'm like,
inflation has gone down,
see, some of us are struggling. You know, it's the latest model. Whatever car they're posting. Anyway, we have to take a break. And also, I'm dressed by Woolworths Kenya. Kenya has always been known, okay, for the amazing quality that they have. And for those of you who, of course, as we've talked about, you have kids who are going back to school, there's so many things you need to buy. That is the place to go. For my ladies and, of course, the gents, we are going back to work. Usiende na ile wardrobe ulikuwa nayo last year, jamani. Shtua watu kidogo kwach. Utava hiyo t-shirt mpaka lini. You're just mix and matching. Just go and spruce up your wardrobe. You know, that promotion could come because, you know, you're presenting yourself as the boss that you should be. So this 2025, your promotion, itakuja. But you go and you check them out. They have so many outlets all across the country. So find out where they are online. I'll tell you about them when
Skia ni juicy flavor zote tamu tena fruity yummy na flow kama maji juu ni tamu kama sali ni juicy are you bored kuna vitu zinakuudhi usijali my bro hebu kama taka juicy juni.
How do you keep your toilet clean? I use normal detergent and bleach for washing. The detergent and bleach cleanless can leave behind yellowness, rust, and germs. Harpic's 10 times better cleaning compared to regular detergents and bleach, and kills 99.9% illness-causing germs in your toilet. To clean your toilet properly, you need Harpic 10X.
Deals kibao kila wiki na Carrefour. Enjoy fresh Afer beef meat on bone at 448 shillings per kg. Red grapes at 299 shillings. Sunrise basmati rice 5 kg at 1099 shillings. Vida school bag assorted starting from 1265 shillings. And Mika 10 kg washing machine at 55,995 shillings. Deals kibao kila wiki na Carrefour.
I trust Sunlight 2-in-1 washing powder to give my clothes a sensational clean and an uplifting fragrance.
Okay, bye-bye.
Sunlight. More than you expect.
I want you to picture this. Me and you, lead roles of the hit TV series.
Orders zilikuwa mingi sana, so ilibidi nimechange strategy. Chiki, I made a choice, okay? Sawa?
Unajua saizi kina Jada are very mad about the last game. So we have to train hard or go home.
So najaribu kusema nitakuwa addicted.
It's a good addiction.
I think that is one of those special Vera cards.
And welcome back. All right, so we'll read your tweets before the end of the show. The hashtag is TTTT. I was talking about the Trend Live, which is at 10 p.m. So that one's also coming. So do tweet us and let us know where you're watching the show from. Plus, of course, any of your opinions about the stories that we have talked about so far. Now, moving on to the next story. Wait, did Mato have his say?
No.
He didn't. I'm sorry, Mato.
Tuendelee tu.
Oh, hiyo utaki
Umekaa. Sasa umefura.
Sasa utaki kuendelea.
Sasa
hiyo ni kitu ya kukasirisha mtu.
Unataka kulia.
Zile shida zenye tuko nazo tunaweza kasirika juu ya story.
Sitaki.
Have you ever gone to a party and then sasa mnabembeleza mtu apige shots? Shanga sasa.
Siwende home.
Kule happy.
Let's move on.
Siwende home.
Yeah, ati anataka kuenda usiende. Please usiende. Ati no, akiona venye ameongea enda basi. Anyway, but so if Matu is okay, we'll move on to the next story. Now, 5 young men, including a popular cartoonist, Kibet Bull, who went missing just before the Christmas holidays, have been found alive. Family members and rights groups have come forward to say that Kenya has been gripped by a wave of disappearances, with the state rights group saying that over 80 people have been abducted in the last 6 months alone. The abducted youths were found in various locations around the country, with very many people terming this as one of the darkest times of our nation. And they said that, you know, it's taking us back. I don't even think it ever really went away. I think it's just now being recorded, because we used to hear about these stories.
Yeah.
It just, they were fine between. So I guess, you know, it didn't ramp up as much attention. But we used to hear about these stories, if I'm not wrong. But Mato, what are you thinking? Do you know any one of these youth?
No, I do not know anyone of the victims that were, you know, abducted. Well, but that does not mean that I am far removed from the fact that it hurts me as somebody who sometimes just talks.
A lot of times.
What is on my mind.
Yes.
Backed sometimes by facts, sometimes
by emotion.
Backed by emotions.
Yes.
So, topic, you are setting me up by having me as the first person to comment on it, but it is well. But it is well. Kwani paper bag kwa kichwa ni kitu. Paper bag
ukiwa umekasirika.
Paper bag kwa kichwa ni kitu ya kuogopa. Twende nayo.
In fact, we like getting him riled up.
Yes.
So the most interesting thing was actually the, I don't know, I'm trying to look for a clean word, but let's just say mudslinging between the politicians when they were talking about nyinyi mlikuwa mkifanya ile time yenu, sisi tukijifanya sasa mnajifanya ni kama si kitu tunafanyikaga, wacheni kufanyia watoto wetu. And then it's also the fact that it is young kids. It is like it's beating a fly with a hammer, for crying out loud. And it doesn't help because now it riled up the parents. Now we are having the parents go to the streets. We had the mothers with gunias who went to demonstrate and say, we want our children back. The thing is, I do not want this to happen, but the current administration is clearly doing enough to get even the last person you'd expect to see on the street protesting to do exactly that. And I think this, ni kama sisi ndio tunafinywa tuseme. Sisi ndio tunafinywa tutoe uchungu yote. Na itaendelea tu ku happen. Because some of the sentiments that even the president unfortunately continues to, the things he continues to say about these issues, they do not give us confidence that this is somebody who is supposed to be holding the sword and protecting us as the citizens of this nation.
I think what the current president is unfortunate to be bearing is the cumulative pressure we have had as a country since 1963. Because if you look at the history of this country, this is not a new tactic.
True. No.
This is not something new that is being employed by the current. And what makes me afraid is the fact that it's been normalized as when it happens to you, ni because serikali huwa iguswi. Like it's been normalized that way because since 1963, it's been made that if you talk about the government. And I was just thinking about it the other day and I'm like, when has Kenya ever had a president that people sat down and said, this one is really good?
Yeah.
When have we had someone since independence that we as a country sat down and said, sio ati huyu hata kama alikuwa mbaya alifanya because that's what I think, that's what we say. Huyu alikuwa mbaya lakini alituletea free primary. Huyu alikuwa mbaya lakini ametujengea mabypass. Huyu alikuwa mbaya lakini why are we not having one that hajakuwa mbaya? Because there is no single presidency in this country that has gone through without abductions, without extrajudicial killings, without spilling blood. And that's where we are as a country, that the current president is facing what we as a country have faced for 60 years now. And now that we are standing up against it.
It's the wrong tactics at the wrong time.
Yes. No, but the current government did exacerbate that disdain. Because first of all, it started with the previous government. The 2 billion getting lost every day thing was like, okay. But then with the current government, I mean, looking at their expenditure of, I think at that time when we were talking about it, Tate Kwamefika 2 years, and it was already more than how much people had spent in many years. There is no money, Cindy, but you can't say that and then we see them.
No, what I'm saying is there is no money, not at now as a justification. But that's the dire state. So when we're told the economy has grown, it hasn't grown. Ask anybody who works for county, when was the last time they were paid? Look at even SHA. The reason why it has not been implemented is because there is no money to pay back the services that the private and public hospitals have given. Grade 9 students are being told, go back to school, the results are not there. Go back to school where? Which building? The money for construction was dispersed this week. So, and where did this money come from? So, you go, you collect revenue, kuna ile mnakula, alafu ile mnabaki is what you give. And it's, I want to echo what you've said, Mato. The time, and even what you've said, Kwach, it's really the wrong time to use old tactics because that worked during their generation. This generation is very different.
Very different.
First of all, they are more aware, they are more bold, they are more brazen.
They're more informed.
They are more
educated, intelligent.
And with these attacks, there are people who are very silent, but they're waiting for the ballot 2027. A new lot of voters just finished KCSE, you know, and just received their results. And there's going to be another lot 2026 and even 2027. All these people are seeing what you're doing to their comrades. So, you know, there's that insensitivity that makes you wonder, is it, you know, what is going on?
Quick question. Did you guys see what Honorable Farah Malim said? You saw that clip?
Yeah.
So he can say that and people just can't.
And this is not the first time.
I think
for him, I always wonder how much grace as a country we are going to extend, because this is like the third time he's saying the very extreme.
Yes.
Like akuna akwangi hata it can be interpreted this way or that.
No, it's very clear.
The former Kiambu governor was ousted because he said something that could have been interpreted this way or that.
Yeah.
But anaendanga to the very end. He speaks like he's a blogger.
Yes. He sounds like a lie. Or a lie is not even a blogger anymore. But you know what I mean?
Yes.
You know, kuna ile matusi sonko pia utukananga watu.
Yes.
Nini ya nyanyako. You know.
And these are the people who are speaking to the youth, giving them advice and saying, you know, parents, you know, watch over your kids. Are they leaders? Are they mentors to the youth? Are they worth emulating when they say and spew such kind of hate speech?
What they're realizing, Cindy, now, what they will realize soon is the old tactics are dying slowly and slowly.
Yeah.
The political class came together after Maandamano to protect themselves.
Yeah.
And to their shock, we have seen that they are protecting themselves.
Yep.
So now when the time comes when we need to speak to them again, maybe the change will not be drastic because human nature is human nature. We will still fall for some of their gimmicks. Most of our population is still under civic education. They have not been reached yet. But the ones that have the voices in the right places are already speaking and are already doing the right things that should be done, including us on this platform.
Yeah. And you know what? I love that this energy is being felt across the continent.
Yes.
We've seen you guys. I'm telling you, it's happening. It's happening. When we used to ask people, do you not understand that we have lost more than 10 billion? And now we see people talking about it everywhere.
Yeah.
You know,
guys are becoming more brazen.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. But it doesn't make any sense that Farah Malim can say that and someone cannot just tweet. I thought we are all sharing our emotions and our feelings. I thought so you can do it. I can't.
Africa is demanding more.
Anyway,
and I love it.
Let's take a quick break. When we get back, we have more to talk about. Do not go too far.
When we get the don't you disrespect my lover.
New Harpic Kadogo. While other cleaners flow away, Harpic has a high viscous formula that gives you a sparkling clean toilet with only one round of application. Harpic offers 10 times better cleaning than other cleaning products and great savings too. Harpic Kadogo at only 60 shillings.
To protect our family from germs that cause illness when it's cold, we use Dettol soap.
Dettol soap with germ defense gives you protection. When it's cold, germs are transferred in different ways, and Dettol soap's germ defense protects you from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Be Dettol sure.
This back to school, buy Dettol Value Pack and enjoy more rewards.
Deals kibao kila wiki na Carrefour. Enjoy fresh Shaffer beef meat on bone at 448 shillings per kg. Red grapes at 299 shillings. Sunrise basmati rice 5 kg at 1099 shillings. Vida school bag assorted starting from 1265 shillings. And Mika 10 kg washing machine at 55,995 shillings. Deals kibao kila wiki na Carrefour.
This is NTV.
Tonight.
Kulikuwa na kijana wa bodaboda amekaa hapo, ile ndege ikamlalia, yeye pia akachoka hadi akakufa.
Crushed to death.
3 people killed instantly by a light aircraft along Malindi-Mombasa highway. We tell you who they were. Also tonight,
it is extremely embarrassing that for the second time, Ghana nominee High Commission has had to decline this posting.
Scorn or rejection. Another nominee for Ghana High Commissioner post declines the job. Head of Public Service blamed for dropping ball while dropping names. Plus,
na kulikuwa kumenyesha na simu haikuwa imenyeshewa. Inaonekana mahali wakati watu waliingia ndio simu iliangushwa. Sasa tunadhania ako huko.
Fury of a missing man in Kieni. Passengers and motorists stranded on Nyeri-Nyahururu Road for hours as Kieni residents protest over a man whose personal effects were found in Solio Ranch. And it was long overdue. Rights groups and psychiatrists welcome ruling that decriminalized attempted suicide. We have the details.
To protect our family from germs that cause illness when it's cold, we use Dettol soap.
Dettol soap with germ defense gives you protection. When it's cold, germs are transferred in different ways, and Dettol soap's germ defense protects you from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Be Dettol sure.
This back to school, buy Dettol Value Pack and enjoy more rewards.
Skia, ni juicy. Flavor zote tamu tena fruity. Yummy na flow kama maji juu ni tamu kama sali. Ni juicy. Are you bored? Kuna vitu zinakuudhi. Usijali my bro, hebu kama taka juicy juni.
And welcome back, Cindy. Welcome back.
Thank you. Sorry, still on holiday mode. We have a Christmas tree in studio.
Cindy is that mother who comes to you, you are the mic, and then she's like,
yeah.
No, endeleni tu.
Endeleni, nilikuwa nataka sana.
So, tuendelee na nini na mimi naongea?
Nipatie pesa ya pasta.
Like, how are you supposed to continue talking? And she's talking in your ear. I mean, I do it with Jaxo in my ear.
I can't do it. Like, it's a skill. I don't think you realize it. The motor skills that you have. To listen, interpret, and still speak.
Yeah. And sometimes he's causing, by the way.
And not say what he's saying. It's a skill. It's almost like being bilingual.
Hi, Jaxo.
Okay, so let's take a look at Twitter or X. Do you guys call it X? Actually, I've never been able to.
It's still Twitter.
So they are still called tweets.
Yes.
Okay.
Because they are not called X's.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we should not be celebrating X's.
Infamous Kelvs is saying, next maandamano itakuwa kama World War. Definitely blow down some cars na zile homemade guns. Hey. Jameni, kwani Mike Wairegi is saying, Cindy, you are advocating for fresh means to handle the current generation. But you see, the leaders are from the older generation. The reason they are employing those age-old tactics of abductions is because you cannot teach an old dog new tricks.
That's what they know.
Yes. Hashtag TTTT anasema mtulete hawa their story also matters. Stop interviewing only A materials.
I think that's such a brilliant story. Like top 50 under 50.
Ati Musa the goat is saying Ati Kwachi is trying to register kwa beard gang. Your application is under review.
By the way, for men, if you can't grow a beard, it's like for women without nyash. I don't know. It's changing how you are.
I mean,
a woman without
nyash. Ata heshima Kwachi. It's like, can you talk according to how long your beard is?
I saw a guy making a TikTok. Ati if you are dating someone with a beard, at some point you will pay their rent.
Oh.
At some point atafutwa kazi na utamtumia pesa.
It is not true. It is true.
Will you pay rent for a guy who doesn't have even one?
Yeah, me at a mustache.
Smokes like Alfred Mutua.
I get parents. Same day.
Wanaitwa non-stick. So
unaharibu bwana. Unaharibu.
Eric Gitonga is saying Nick's blazer. I mean that this is for you.
Yeah.
Nick's blazer looks like it's from Paris, France, or Milan, Italy.
Like,
it's a real tweet. Yeah. Moses.
Let me read this.
Is Moses saying that?
This is your relative.
Austin Mkikuyu says, why were they released just the day when protests were planned? Where were they? Who went for them? Why then the sudden appearance? I mean, I have so many questions, but the president saying, Ati, we shall end the situation. Does that mean you knew where they were? It's sad.
Yeah.
There's a lot of plausible deniability in this entire kerfuffle of the abductions. And the insistence on the newly appointed CS for Interior on mutakomesha hizi vitu. And the insistence of respecting the president as opposed to respecting the presidency and the president earning the respect based on his actions.
You know, Mimi, what absolutely what Mato, you Mato the poet.
We have other stories quite, but what do you want to say to get us killed? Carry on.
No, I wanted to say it shocked me that the government is coming out to say that former government members are abducting Kenyans. What does that say about you? Who is supposed to protect us?
Is anyone else loving how Rigiji is vocal now?
No, actually I don't, because this is what I think it is.
It's making you upset.
It is a tactic to be brought back to the table, and it's not going to work.
It's another one of the old tactics that you think we can't see through you.
Yeah.
It's a tactic.
Oh,
yes,
it is. But I hope in the midst of all of this, they just say, all dirty.
Yes.
All
it's just that an enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Okay,
so now he's our friend.
Oh, because we share the same.
Because we share the same cause.
Mimi sijasema ni enemy. Please. Natokanga hapo usiku sana kwachi. Please. No one will even hear me scream. Even there'll be no one to record the video to be shared. Anyway, now the drivers of two notorious public service vehicles that were impounded on Thursday for flouting traffic regulations have been arraigned at Kibera Law Courts in Nairobi. John Mwangi, operating vehicle KDG 195, and Dominic Amaya, who was driving KDQ 111T, that's Manifest, were charged with driving unroadworthy vehicles, a charge to which they pleaded guilty. Consequently, the court handed them a penalty of 50,000 fine or a 6-month jail term. The two were arrested on Thursday after they were captured on video swerving recklessly through traffic on the Karen Rongai Road, putting both other motorists and pedestrians at risk. Now, when you take a drive, you wonder, I mean, I used to wonder this even though I'm late and I am in this. Na unajua, ukipandanganya, unajua, there's a way they drive. You could always take the beat up ones, but you don't, you take these ones. And I used to wonder, man, like he is driving with such reckless abandon, but I need to get to work or I need to get to school. And now I'm wondering if that driver used to drive like that, not a care in the world. Can you imagine if I am driving the car, or rather the matatu that is owned by the son of the most powerful person in the country? I don't know. I'd just be driving whichever side of traffic I feel like watch. Because you know they have an attitude already.
Yeah. What I loved is how they are now differentiating the persons from the vehicle. Like, hii gari haina shida. Shida ni dereva. So it is the dereva that we are, which to some level is true. The dereva is part of the high degree reckless abandon that we are seeing. But at the same time, it's addressing a bigger issue. Because before, when cars used to get this kind of nene, I don't know if they changed that rule, but the whole circle would be summoned to be told, are you guys regulating your people? Because if you're doing this, then it's bad business to us as a circle. Because they would stall all vehicles belonging to that circle until something is done, then they are returned on the road. So now, this conversation of who owns this car has brought a whole new dimension to it, which is what has been happening in Nairobi. We are being told that a lot of these matatus are owned by traffic police officers. A lot of these matatus are owned by people who work at the city council. A lot of these are owned by politicians who run town. So now, a common Kenyan, baba tugi yako, wenye haujui mtu town, gari yako inaweza chukua 6 hours ndio ipate mahali ya kupaka hapa town, because someone, the who is who, wako wote wako mbele yako, because they can go to Rongai and back, because they're driving on the wrong side. Wewe ukijaribu utashikiwa hapa tu. Hapa tu kabla utoke town. Kabla utoke town utakuwa ushashikwa. You see the unroadworthiness of the car. 12 screens mbele peke yake. What for?
Because we can. Unajua shida yako ni wewe ndo hauna do. Mimi naweza eka screens all hata nje. I can put screens outside.
No, we understand the matatu culture, but not like that.
No, it's not Gen Z's in the house.
Okay, guys, we have another story I want us to talk about, but please, I'm giving you 1 minute each.
No.
Utaki Mato?
No, it's not just matatu culture. It is the rotten culture we have as Kenyans.
Yes.
Yani mpaka Moses Kuria anaanzia ku make sense. Akisema venye, by the way, sisi ndio tuko na shida sisi wote kama wa Kenya. Even in his tweets. Yani, I keep on saying, tunafaa kutolewa wote Kenya siku moja, tupeleke huko nje, then tuanze kurudi mmoja tukiswear oath of allegiance to the country, to behave in certain ways, because we are so rotten as a society, and you might think you are not until you are faced with the opportunity to need to be somewhere as quickly as possible, and that ambush or manifest is the one driving you. Utakuwa zile za tuende tukienda.
Yeah, that's what I was
But that's
saying.
why the rule of law is there, Mato. To control our desires.
Otherwise, we would be out here.
I would want to play loud music, but the rule of law is there to control my desires.
I thought you were going to tell us about your desires, Kwach, and I was like, I don't know.
No, I only have PG desires.
That's why you're single, by the way. Work on your desires. Anyway, so a shocking case of domestic violence. I really want us to talk about this story. A shocking case of domestic violence has been recorded on CCTV in Buruburu. The footage shared on social media shows a woman attacking a man who's thought to be her partner with a knife, leading to serious head injuries for him. The video, dated Saturday, November 9th, 2024, begins with the woman enjoying a drink, dancing in their living room. Alafu kidogo tu hasira ikapanda, and you know, we saw what we saw. Of course, we cannot share the video on here. And he kept on saying over and over again, you know, if I now come and take the knife away from you, it is in self-defense. And I think he was saying that so that the audio is picked up by the camera, because he used to maybe try and tell people, and no one would believe him, because we always or often believe the woman when it comes to domestic violence cases. So I don't know who wants to take it first, but anyone can go.
She should face the full wrath of the law. I mean, it shouldn't be any different because she's a female. I do know that there are more cases of femicide than, is there a word even for men?
Yeah.
What's this called?
They had
it's called androcide.
Yes, androcide, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, guys don't even know it. There's I know there are more cases of femicide than androcide, but violence is violence. You know, you can't just wield a knife at somebody and then play the gender card. So it doesn't matter if it doesn't matter that she was intoxicated. It's really bad behavior. There'd be so much bile if the tables were turned and it was a man. Female MCAs and everybody would be all over the streets campaigning, and social media would be lit. So it just goes to show that there are gender-based violence incidences that do involve men, and it should be the stigma. You know, it's good. Some guys are like, oh, don't share this, Nini. I'm like, no, you need to share so that guys know there is no stigma when you're a man and you're a victim of gender-based violence. My heart goes out always to the children. Because, you know, kids see, they don't forget. And that kind of trauma is the kind of trauma that is learned and passed on. So I'm just wondering, what are these kids learning and what is their future in terms of how they deal with conflict?
Cindy, to correct tu kidogo, not really to correct, but statistically speaking, there are actually more cases of androcide than there are of femicide.
In Kenya?
Just that. The androcide cases are chalked up as homicide, generalized as homicide, and
cases of women killing men.
And cases, no, it's not women killing men. It is cases of men dying.
Now,
as femicide is cases of women dying, not women being killed by men. That has not been specified under the term femicide and androcide. And then also, when I see this, I have been in this exact situation myself.
No way, I'm
this
so
is
sorry,
sort of
It's a trigger?
It's a, I think I can't really say it's a trigger, but it's just a realization that I am lucky to be alive because I didn't even think it as, unaonaga, uni mtu mulikuwa mnapendana rather.
Yeah.
At that moment, hamupendani ndio, but unaona, hakuna kitu anaweza fanya. Because you can see even his fear and he's not as fearful or as aggressive. Anashikilia tu. Because you see, the fight or fright. Fight or flight or fright. Yes. Fight, flight, fright. Haija kick in kabisa kwa sababu unaona bado huu ni ule mtu unajua. Kwa sababu ingekuwa ni stranger ambaye hajui, angekuwa amereact even worse, angekuwa ashamshika ama ameshatoroka. But kwa sababu unaona this is somebody I know,
someone I love.
It will be fine.
Okay.
It will be fine. And then only to realize, haya, by the way ninadungwa. Haya, by the way I am bleeding. Mwaka anasema, unaona nina bleed, ni kama anapiga tu story. So
unfortunately, I'm being told time is over.
Not on our side.
Yeah, we are meant to overrun. So I do have to cut you short there, Mato, but I am very sorry. And you're right, this is a reality for very many men out there. And, you know, the shame, the stigma, victim shaming, all of these reasons are why they don't even share in the first place. And I wish we had way more time to talk about it, but unfortunately we don't. I've got to close out the show there. Thank you so much, Cindy, Kwach, Daddy Mato. And of course, to you who's watching at home, the show continues at 10 p.m. 10 p.m. we have The Trend. But just to remind you once again, you're going back to work, or you've already started going back to work. You're looking for quality pieces of clothing. And I'm talking pants, I'm talking nice tops, I'm talking jewelry, I'm talking sunglasses, hats, bags, whatever you need. They even have, oh my gosh, they have the most amazing sandals. I love sandals at Woolworths. And the best thing about getting clothes from Woolworths, and I say this with 100%, I'm very, very certain about this, is how long it lasts. So it gives you value for your money. Okay, are we together? So I hope I'll get to see you at a Woolworths outlet very soon, hopefully this weekend. My name is Amina Abdirabba. Catch you at 10.